So today I'm going to show you how to make a 2-layer cake. All right, so we're not completely doing this from scratch. This is using a box cake mix, but we're going to jazz it up by using some pudding mix. And this just takes a basic cake mix box recipe, and we add some extra ingredients, and it just makes it taste amazing. Before we mix our cake batter, we're going to prep our pans. So for this recipe, you're going to need 2 round cake pans. If you have only one, you can just save half the batter and then bake one cake, save it, and then bake the second one. Or if you have 2 square pans, you could do that. You just really want them even to make a 2-layer cake, all right? So the first thing you're going to do to prep your pans is you need parchment paper. Now, you don't need parchment paper, but it makes it way easier to take the cakes out and just so that they stay nice and even. So what you're going to do is you take your cake pan, you take a piece of parchment paper, and I take a pencil, and I'm just going to trace it just like so. And then you have your circle, and you're going to cut it out to fit the bottom just like so. All right? So then you just go around there. You want it to be nice and even. You don't want to have any flaps up or it will ruin the cake. All right? Now, in a bakery, you'll see that they actually sell these rounds already pre-cut, and then they use them and they reuse them over and over because it gets so hot so bacteria doesn't transfer anything. So this is a really common practice in a bakery. So then what you're going to do, so you can see it fits right in there, all right? We're going to take those out, and then we're going to take some just cooking spray, and you're just going to lightly spray your pan. If you don't have cooking spray, you can use butter, you can use shortening, whatever works best for you. All right, then you're going to take this, and it will set right inside, like so. And then you're going to spray it again, okay? This will prevent any sticking to happen, and then the cakes will come right out. Well, they should come right out, okay? We're just going to set this off to the side, okay? So now that's prepped, all right? Now we're going to make our cake batter, all right? So as I told you, we are using cake mix. You can access the recipe online. It's for the 2 layers, so this will make 2 even layers, all right? I'm doing vanilla. You can take the recipe and do any variation. So we're doing vanilla cake mix, vanilla pudding. You could do chocolate cake mix, chocolate pudding. You could do strawberry cake mix, vanilla pudding, whatever you find at the store, okay? So I'm just going to dump this entire batter mix right into the bowl, clean as you go, and then I'm going to add the entire container of vanilla pudding. And you want the smaller 3.4 ounce. All right. Then to this, we are going to add a cup of water, which I'm going to get, so I'll be right back. All right, so we are back, and I have my 8 ounces of water, which is equivalent to 1 cup. I'm just going to add that right into the container. So you're ignoring the recipe on the back of the box. You're only following the recipe I've posted, all right? The next ingredient you need to add is 1 stick of melted butter, or a half cup. So 1 stick equals a half cup, and I've already melted it. You can melt it in the microwave. You just want to make sure you put it in a glass or a plastic container. I'm going to add this right to here, just like so. Then the next thing I'm going to add is 4 eggs. Now when you're adding eggs, you want to crack them separately just to make sure there's no contamination. You don't get shells in them. So you add them one at a time. 1. And I just like to crack right on the side here. Dump it in. That's 2. I'm not mixing it all in between. I'm just adding my 4 eggs. Just like so. See, I got some shells in there. I did that on purpose. So I'm going to take that out. So if I would have had those other 3 eggs in there, they would have all had shells in them. This just makes it a little bit more simple. And then my 4th egg, just like so. So now I have my 4 eggs, okay? And then the last ingredient I'm going to add is vanilla. So vanilla is just added for flavor, and you need 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to do this right over the bowl. So you can do, I have pure vanilla, which gives it, it's a little bit more expensive, and it gives it a very strong vanilla flavor, or you could just do vanilla extract, which is essentially the same. It will still give it very good flavor, it's just not as potent. which means strong. So this is a rubber scraper. So I'm going to start by mixing this by hand, just like so, just to start incorporating the ingredients. Now I could keep mixing this by hand. It's just it's going to take me longer. So if you have access to an electric mixer, as I do, so I just have a handheld electric mixer. You might have one of those stand mixers that you can use. If you don't have a mixer, just keep mixing with a rubber scraper, wooden spoon, heck, any kind of spoon. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So as you can see right now, it's very lumpy. I want it to be very smooth. So I'll come back. I'm going to let this mix for about 2 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like. So we are back, and it's pretty smooth. Just so you know, when you're using one of these mixers, you start off very low, and then you gradually increase it and go around the sides to try to get underneath. A lot of times this batter, it will get really, all the chunks will sink to the bottom, and then when you're portioning it or distributing it, you see these chunks. So you just want it really smooth. So to get rid of this, you just kind of be very careful to get rid of the extra, and then clear it off. And now we have our finished batter. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our prepped pans, okay? And I am going to take my rubber scraper, just gonna give it a quick mix to make sure, and then I am going to eyeball about half, okay? Just like so. You're trying really hard to evenly distribute it the best that you can. If one's a little bit more full than the other, you can always take some out. And then in the video for assembling this cake, I show you how to kind of even out your layers. So it's fine if it's not perfect. Don't worry about it. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to lightly rotate and distribute my cakes. Like so, and then like so here. Just lightly, you can see some of that parchment paper is coming up. That's fine. Just like so. And then what you're gonna do just to even it out is you're just gonna hit it against your countertop. And that will just balance it out a little more. Just like so, okay? I'm going to bake this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees. It will take about 20 minutes, give or take, depending on your oven. So I'll show you what they look like when they're done. We'll be back. So we're back, and these cakes are done, and as you can see, they cooled. I took them out and I let them cool for a good like 30 minutes. Before I let them cool, I did take a butter knife and I went around the edges just to loosen them. And then if you don't have a cooling rack, it's fine. Just let them cool on a towel. And then if you can see, I'm gonna flip this over just like so, and the cake slides right out. Just like this one as well, okay? And then I'm going to peel back my parchment paper, and that just dispose of that. And then before you crumb coat, which is the next demo, and then frost and decorate, my suggestion to you is to wrap these in plastic wrap and put them in a refrigerator just to get them cold. They're a little bit easier to stack and layer that way, and just to work with, especially when it's summer and it's kind of hot in your house. So enjoy. Please watch the next demo of how to crumb coat and ice frost decorate the cake. Enjoy. Thank you.